Hello, welcome to an iceberg video. This is the first time I've ever done one of these type of videos, but I've watched a bunch of them. So here's an iceberg about North Carolina. This iceberg was made by Hear Guitar on Reddit, so big shout out to him. I'm doing North Carolina because I just moved here recently for college. So I'm gonna dive into each one of these categories, and I hope you enjoy. The Lost Colony. So in 1587, a group of English settlers led by John White arrived at Roanoke Island. They were hoping to make a new colony there, which was back then the New World. So they set up camp and they kind of made it like home, but then John White had to return back to England to get some supplies. But little did he know that because of the Anglo-Spanish War, he would be stuck for 3 years. He managed to get his way back to the island by 1590, but by then he realized that everybody had abandoned the property. The only clue left behind was the word Croatoan carved into a tree. So where did they go? Nobody really knows. The townfolk had theories that they either merged with Native American tribes, they starved, or maybe they just relocated, but the truth is still a mystery. Nobody really knows. My best guess is that the word Croatoan meant that it was a nearby Native American tribe or island, which, it makes me think that they probably either got killed by them or they went to live with them, but I don't really know. So let me know what you think. Blackbeard. Blackbeard, also known as Edward Thatch, was one of the most famous pirates in history. He began his career as a privateer in the Caribbean, but then he became a pirate. He then became very well known for his fearsome appearance and his ruthless tactics. And by fearsome appearance, I mean Blackbeard used to put slow-burning candle fuses into his beard so that sailors and merchants would see, quote-unquote, Satan coming towards them. So yeah, this is one scary motherfucker. He lived most of his life as a pirate, and then he died on November 22nd, 1798 in a battle against the British. After killing Blackbeard, Lieutenant Robert displayed Blackbeard's head on his ship as a warning to other pirates. Shit used to be brutal, dude. Oh my god. Brown Mountain Lights. The Brown Mountain Lights, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's in the Appalachian Mountains in North Carolina, and people say that they see lights in the mountain. Now these lights, they either flicker, they move around, or they stay put, but there's no answer to why they're there. There's a lot of theories around it, but to me this one just seems like folklore, and a lot of the videos that are out there seem like they'd be really easily faked, but also I don't really know. If you think differently, let me know in the comments. Biltmore Secret Passages. The Biltmore estate is located in Asheville, North Carolina, and it's known for its grand architecture and, of course, its hidden passages. Many of the passages were designed to allow the Vanderbilt family and their guests to move discreetly between rooms or to allow staff to serve without being seen. For example, in the library there's a hidden door that leads directly to George Vanderbilt's study. This allowed him to enter or exit without disturbing any guests. Other hidden doors can be found disguised within the whole building, really. It just kind of helps for speed and staying out of the way. Alright, that was the tip of the iceberg. Now we're going to move down to the next layer, and this one's going to be a little bit more interesting. The Devil's Tramping Grounds. The Devil's Tramping Grounds is an area near Bear Creek, North Carolina, and this is like a big circle on the floor in the middle of a forest, and it's supposed to be where the devil just tramps around in the middle of the night. It's also said that if you put anything in that circle, that it'll be removed by the morning. The weird thing about it is that it's located on a campground. It is private property, but from everything I've seen, if you go and ask the owners, they might let you stay on it. But I don't know how insane you gotta be to want to camp there, but if you want to, try. Helen's Bridge. So this is actually a pretty cool looking bridge located on 201 Bewcatcher Road. It was made in 1909 to provide access to the nearby Zealandia mansion, and living near the mansion was Helen and her daughter. I've looked around a bit, but I can't really find the date for when this happened, but Helen's daughter got trapped in a room that caught on fire. Helen tried to save her, but she couldn't. She got her way out of the house, but as she crossed the bridge, I'm assuming she saw the rope and she hung herself. Now, people that visit the bridge today say that they can still see her spirit floating from the bridge. People also report that their phone batteries drain, that their car batteries drain, and other just general ghost shit. Moon-eyed people. The Moon-eyed people were a group of people. They were small, bearded, and they had white skin, like pale white skin. And they lived in the Appalachia. According to Cherokee legend, they were called Moon-eyed people because they were unable to see during the daylight. This is what they supposedly looked like. Little alien-looking creatures. It's said that the Cherokee fought with them and expelled them from the land. And after this, Moon-eyed people started to live underground. So I guess in caves in the Appalachian Mountains, you might be able to find a Moon-eyed person. The Beast of Bladenboro. The Beast of Bladenboro refers to a creature that was responsible for killing many animals in Bladenboro. Nearby reports said that the animal would commonly crush and decapitate the head of its victims, which were mainly dogs. The first reported death was on December 29th, 1953, where the creature captured and killed a dog in Clarkton, which is 8 miles from Bladenboro. The owner reported that the dogs were quote-unquote torn to ribbons and crushed. 2 more dogs were found dead on January 3rd, 1954, and the autopsy was done on one of the dogs. When the autopsy came back, it reported that there wasn't more than 2 or 3 drops of blood in him, and his jawbone was smashed back. Other victims were a decapitated bunny and a goat. Lydia's Bridge. Now, this is another haunted bridge located in Jamestown. People report that they have seen a young woman dressed in all white standing by the road and attempting to flag down passing drivers for help. According to legend, Lydia was either returning home from a dance or driving with her date when they were involved in a car accident near the bridge. Now, there's some good stories around it, but they're all very obviously fake. So for the most part, this is just a pretty cool bridge. Maco Lights. This story is about Joe Baldwin. Joe Baldwin was a train conductor in the late 1800s. He worked for the Wilmington and Manchester Railroad. One night he was riding in the caboose of the train, and he realized that the car had somehow become detached from the main train, leaving him stranded on the tracks. In an attempt to warn an oncoming train, Joe started waving his hands and lantern from the back of his train car. Unfortunately, the approaching train couldn't stop in time, and it crashed right into the back of the caboose, decapitating Joe. Since then, strange lights have been appearing near the railroad tracks. Locals come to believe that the light was Joe Baldwin's ghost searching for his missing head.
We'd been there about 15 minutes looking around, and we decided to leave. We figured nothing was going to happen. And so we had gotten back in the car, and my husband said he was going to look one more time. So he got out and started down the track. And just as he got onto the railroad track, this light appeared. The light started coming toward him, just as we had heard it would, but as we turned around to look, the light started receding, and it just went back down the tracks and gradually faded in the distance.
Judaculla Rock. Judaculla Rock is this big soapstone boulder in Jackson County, and the rock is covered with ancient petroglyphs, basically rock carvings. The legend involves a giant named Judaculla. He was known as a powerful being that lived in the nearby mountains. According to legend, he was so large that he could leap from one mountaintop to another. People say that the marks are either his fingers on the rock or symbols of his power. Some carvings are believed to depict his 7-fingered hand, which supposedly got there as he leaped from a nearby mountaintop and he left his imprint on the stone. Obviously old, ancient, myths and shit. Land of Oz theme park. I honestly don't even really know why this is on the list. I think it may have been scary a few years ago. They recreated the yellow brick road and it was abandoned for a bit, so over time it got overgrown. It was pretty creepy looking, but now it's reopened. You can actually go and visit it now. They take visitors during the weekends, and it's actually a really cool looking place. Road to Nowhere. So before I get into this one, this is going to be the last one for this episode. I'm going to do 2 parts in this one just to split it up a little bit better. So just let me know what you guys think in the comments so I can make changes and I can just, make a better video. Anyway, let's get on with it. So the Road to Nowhere is actually a really cool road. I've drove on it and I've gone on a bunch of hikes up there. It's a super pretty area. It's called the Road to Nowhere because it just leads to a dead end. The road was promised in the 1960s to replace access to the roads that were flooded, but the construction was halted because of environmental issues. So they never finished it. But like I said, there's a ton of hikes there, and here's some footage of what I have from it. Alright, well I'm going to cut it here for part 1. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, I'm really doing this for a hobby, and I love YouTube. So if you guys like it, leave a like, leave a sub, leave in the comments what you want me to do differently, what you liked, what you didn't like, and I'll see y'all in the next one.